Dr. Joseph Jones, how's it going today?
I was going pretty good, pretty good. It's been a good weekend so far.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, we're here on this sunny Saturday here in the DC area. I don't know how it is where you are in Texas, but it's been pretty cold here, so we're enjoying this good weather finally.
Yeah, I'm in Kansas City right now. I had to come down here and drop my daughter off. So uh,
Okay.
I'll be back in Texas later tonight, early in the morning. So
Awesome, awesome. Well, welcome to this episode of the Executive Edge. All the listeners who are tuning in, we have Dr. Joseph Jones here with Elevated Chiropractic. And Dr. Jones, let's first introduce yourself. Introduce Elevated. Tell us, who exactly you help and what you do, and then we'll kind of get into your background because you have a pretty decorated career so
yeah,
far. So let's start off with Elevated. Tell everybody, who you help, what you look for, and what you guys are doing.
So the basis of Elevate is more than just a clinic. It's I like to look at it like a performance hub. We help people move better, recover faster, and of course operate at its higher level, not just to get out of pain. But we try to make it more proactive. We try to teach the proactive side of it. We've even used to seeing people on the reactive side. So that's pretty much it. Trying to take people to an elevated state.
Awesome, awesome. That's really cool. And so, introduce yourself, Dr. Joseph Jones. Right? What is your background? What got you
Yeah.
into this business? I know offline we talked. You have a few
Mhm.
different cooks,
Right,
going
right.
on there.
Yeah.
But let's start with this. What got you into this business, and what does your background look like?
Yeah, so most people don't really it's funny because they don't understand my background until I start talking. They just think of the chiropractic side of it. But that came from a long stance of a lot of things that lead me up to this point. When I was younger, I was big into sports, big into music. Music was my first love, honestly. So it was always about singing melodies, making beautiful sounds, creating beautiful type of artwork, projects, anything of that nature that just was able to blend together in a perfect kind of harmony. So growing up from sports side of it, I used to see just even as a young age getting injured, seeing different things where it's like, okay, I have to try to recover, find a different way to kind of navigate around being faster, stronger, and things of that nature. So as I got a little bit older, um, I got away from my mom passed away when I was 7. So it kind of led me to a different space of seeing things a little bit differently. It's funny because within 7 years she did so much within a 7 year time frame to build that foundation for me that has lasted this whole lifetime. And she has 7 kids. So the thing about sports, I bring that up because I was playing t-ball. My mom, I never knew anything was wrong with her. We were the smallest team. We actually won the championship, and I looked in the audience. My mom was just in the crowd. She's jumping up and down. Her wig falls off, and I'm like, "That's it." Just stopped in the middle of celebrating. I was like, "Man, something's wrong." So that was my first instance of okay, it's more than just happiness and everything around it. People are going through different things, and shortly after that, I can't remember the exact date, but maybe a month or some weeks, she ended up passing away, and that kind of opened my eyes to a whole lot of things. 7 kids, kind of having to navigate. My dad took on a big role trying to figure out how to really take care of 7 kids by himself. So as I got older, it kind of led into just a really focus driven type mentality. From graduating high school, I went to engineering. My oldest brother he did computer engineering. I was smart in math and physics. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to do music, but Berkeley was too expensive to go to at the time. I was in Mississippi. So University of Alabama was right down the street. So I took the electrical engineering route. I went that way, graduated 2006 from University of Alabama in electrical engineering and math and physics. I was gonna take a route to Atlanta, but I was like, that's close by. My other brother moved to Kansas City, so I worked in Kansas City for a while in the engineering route and management field. I did that for 12 years between Kansas City, Oklahoma, and making my way to Texas. That kind of let me got married and had kids at the time back then, and it kind of led me to where I'm at now. What really kind of led me into chiropractic was more so the entrepreneur route and seeing how I can help in a bigger scale, but honestly help myself out, understand the business side of it and seeing, okay, this is bigger than just being inside of 4 walls, helping individuals. The entrepreneur house it creates a pathway to help so many different peoples in different avenues. My tech side was always heavy, but now kind of understanding the health side of things, and it kind of leads me back. I wanted to do health at one point, but I didn't like blood. So it came back to chiropractic. That it was one chiropractor that I saw, and what happened, he didn't just teach me or showcase me how to get better with the injuries that I had. But he actually showcased me, hey, the entrepreneur side, the business side of things, which opened my eyes. So, okay, this is bigger than just helping people. It's showing people a bigger pathway of just becoming healthy. It's showing people, hey, your body is a business. How do you understand your body, your life, everything else, and combining that to really showcase that to the world for a long period of time and not just for this short period of time if we don't really take care of it. And a lot of people, and just kind of going into my chiropractic path, most people don't really recognize I opened the clinic up while I was still in school. I was halfway through school, and I said the next time I go to school, I was going to open something up. Me getting out the engineering path, I joined the military prior to it. I said, you know what, I'm going to make a big change. I sat down on the couch one day, and my kids was like, Dad, you're here, but you're not here. And that's when I was working 24/7, doing all type of work around the clock for distribution centers, keeping people running. And I was like, okay, it's time for a change. I joined the military, put my chiropractic pathway in place, and I set a plan. And I've hit everything up until that point. And halfway through chiropractic school, I asked God for three things. I said, okay, God, give me these three things. I just want this, and I'm gonna open something up. He gave it to me faster than I expected. He gave it to me halfway through school, and I was like, okay, I hear you. Okay, I get it. Let me go for it. And I went after that with all I did, and that's where Elevated kind of came about at.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, and to your point, your body is a business. You know how people
Correct.
say you're the CEO of your life, right? So
Exactly.
so run it like one, right? And
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's super unique. And you said something that was interesting again with more that it's more than just, helping people from like on the ground, right? It's more the business
Right.
side. So talk to us about that, how that transition or that switch in a thought process changes the way you build a business when you just get the first start first, right?
hmm
Get your first client, get your first retail spot from just building that up to now seeing the bigger picture kind of from a bird's eye view. How does that switch really affect everything?
Yeah, and so I would say I do have a very diverse background, which allowed me to really be a people's person. Um, and I'm gonna slide back a little bit. When I was working distribution centers, one thing that taught me it was a lot of older people that worked the lines. It frustrated me to no end to see older individuals working doing manual labor. I hate to see it. So what I would do, I would talk to them, kind of get some knowledge, and kind of see what led them to this path and what happened, or even if just kind of just getting to know them a little bit. And engineering taught me the systems. It taught me the system, but talking to people, it taught me the communication level to really take it to the next level when we're dealing with getting patients in the door, because that's going to be a big portion. I understand how to grow something, but if I can't get the person in the door and get to know them and that side of it, it means nothing. So from a healthcare, it showed me how to deal with the broken systems. So understand the system. Now healthcare showed me broken system, figuring that portion out. So with Elevate, it was kind of building something that worked for everyone. So when I get somebody in the door, it's really getting that trust factor in. And the thing with me having a diverse background, I think what separates me from a lot of other people, I've touched so many different fields. If I can, anybody that walks in the door, I can put my hat off and put another one on, and it communicates, and that builds that trust immediately with me, because it's not just the experience. They get to see I've actually got the accolades and the stuff behind my name that really kind of build that up. And that portion builds a big referral base. And a lot of chiropractors and different, sometimes their first job is that. They didn't do a lot of other things I've done. I got into the field when I was late 30s. So for me, it made me understand a little bit different than other individuals by having those hard parts of life that people can actually understand and respect a little bit more.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So with that said, I mean, what is Elevated focused on today? Right? What part of the business are you really focused on? What are you growing today? Kind of what's the vision look like from here?
So AI, man, so we're gonna go into the portion. AI is big for me right now, and it's not just AI, but it's understanding. I want to create a new age hospital, and what I mean by that is I always take the analogy. If somebody had their last couple of dollars and they were sick and they wanted to go do something just to enjoy themselves, they're gonna go enjoy themselves. They're gonna go out and have a good meal. They may go out and go on a date, have a game, but they're not gonna spend it at the hospital. They're not gonna go there. My goal is, how can we combine the two? How can we make fun still become healthcare? And that's kind of where I'm moving toward now, gamification, which actually introduces healthcare within gamification. So having fun and going out, doing different things, but how does that feed back to the healthcare side of things. And that's where the technology has to move towards. And that's kind of what I've been doing with my other companies.
Awesome. So you said something that was interesting about the gamification of healthcare and having fun within that process. From the outside looking in, I can't really see how that would work. So can you tell us a little bit about what that means and how you go about doing that?
Yeah, and I always give the example of Top Golf. Just imagine yourself at Top Golf having a good time, but actually, while you're there, it's actually a tracking system for healthcare. So it's almost like a hospital that you don't understand, but just having fun from a standpoint of just enjoying yourself. So imagine you being a top baseball player. You're going out, but every time that you go into the side of this facility, it tracks your range of motion. It tracks everything you're doing. It's almost like it calibrates you from the first time to each and every time that you come in. So that way, anything that seems off is notifying your providers of what's going on. And if anything seems extreme off, hey, we need to go ahead and get you in right now. And this is due having fun. A lot of times, healthcare has been so reactive that you have to be in extreme pain first before anybody's being seen. Elevation is more about being more of a proactive state. Make sure that we're doing things well before it gets to the point for pain. Pain, a lot of times, is the last resort that people see. And now it's like, hey, your body's it's tired, it's breaking down. Now it's telling you that to go out and do something. We shouldn't be to the point where we have to be so reactive. We need to be more proactive standpoint when it comes to that one. So that's what that comes about from a sort of sense of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if you think about it, all the commercials, all the advertisements, they're like, if you're sick, take this pill. If
Correct.
you're sick, do this. Nothing is like eat a vegetable, go on a walk,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
Preventative measures. So putting those two things together, being able to see that in real time
Yeah.
can say you can see a pattern, right? Okay,
Yeah.
this isn't looking in the right direction. So let me see what I need to change. And that kind of reminds me, is there any relation to what you're talking about and those like those rings or wristbands that people put on and like track their heart rate and stuff? Is that kind of what you're talking about, or is it something completely different from that?
So I would look at that as the surface level. That's showing from a surface level. This is more from a really dialed in detail without me kind of giving out too much information. Um, this is going to take it to a whole nother level because you got to think about even from that side of it, it's tracking your heart rate, tracking things of that nature. But from a range, I'm a chiropractor, so when it comes down to from your spinal, from range of motion, from different joint issues, this that I want to track everything. I don't want to just track your heart rate monitor. I want to see that of course too, but I want to see is your posture being there on it? What's happening? What's driving the force from different stances when it comes to that portion of it. Any abnormal traits that are popping up that we haven't seen from a heart rate standpoint. That's the big things, of course. But it's so many things that happen from a smaller level that we need to be able to track as well. And that's where this is going towards. It's getting down to the nitty gritty and the detail. So that way we're getting this caught way ahead of time.
Got it. Yeah. So it seems like you're looking at more verticals for
Mm,
the industry.
correct.
Um, and so with that said, I mean, what are you guys doing when it comes to branding, when it comes to using this technology
Mm,
that you're talking about using it within healthcare, but
yeah.
how is it being used to kind of further or, kind of get your brand out there as far as letting people know what you're doing and letting people know that these are the things that they should be more conscious about?
Yeah, and I'm glad you said it because with me, everybody sees elevated and they see that brand of it, but nobody, and I let people see what I want them to see when it comes to that one. But there's so much stuff behind the scenes, surveying, MVPs being brought up. There's different type of conversations happening, different meetings with investors. A lot of people are trying to get involved with this right now that we're trying to really jumpstart it from that standpoint. That is that big. It's not a small project. It's going to take a lot of hands, a lot of smart people coming around to make sure, hey, we're involved and we're making sure this is really gonna take off the way it needs to be. Because right now it's a needed thing. AI is moving so fast, you don't know what's AI and what's not these days. And when it comes to streaming and games and everything else, how can we keep people active but still making sure we're watching that? Because it's going to come to a point, technology is advancing so quickly that we're going to be in this virtual world and we won't even know what we look like on the outside. So we got to get ahead of it before we get to the point where we're just sitting down in a virtual world living that way rather than understanding that, hey, reality is outside of that world.
Yeah, and it goes back to that whole preventative rather than being
Right. Hmm.
reactive to things. Okay, so let's talk about switch gears a little bit. Other things, other businesses, other ventures that you might be involved in. Is there anything outside of this kind of core focus, or is everything just surfaced around that? And if so, how does it connect and kind of what brought you in those directions?
Yeah, so it's everything. So I look at it. I look at it all. I look at the one business I have, BizMingle, which we're kind of rebranding that right now. But with that one, it's from marketing standpoint. One thing I hated about marketing or SEO or things of that nature, it's easy for somebody to tell me, "Hey, it takes 6 months to a year for this to get out there." But why not make it more intentional? So BizMingle came from a form of dating. So it's like I call it the business dating app. So if this business is like this business, it's going to be a mutual connection. Say, hey, we really want to work together. I don't have to wait 6 months to figure out if this is going to work in this relationship. No, we know that we like each other. We know that we have something that can work from both sides of it, and it's intentional. So that way, this 6 months to a year to whatever time does not exist. It starts happening right now. And with the AI driven software that's within BizMingo, it actually creates that conversation for you. It creates your meetings, it creates everything that drives the communication. So that way, we're not having to have offset meetings because AI is in the background working as that third portion, that mediator, making sure everything flows smoothly.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So everything's kind of around, business, right? Business as the
Correct.
center focus to things that are going on out there. So talk to us a little bit about the future. Um, for Elevated, for your marketing, your like with all the things you have your hands in, right?
Yeah,
In 6 months, 12 months, I know it's hard to kind of foresee anything further than that with the rate of technology.
correct.
But looking back to today, what would have to happen for you to say, okay, I did what I set out to do in that time frame and I grew how I wanted to grow?
Yeah, so it's funny. I'm a extreme helper. I'm an extreme helper. Like I'm that type of person I can't see somebody in the back of the line if I'm trying to pay for everybody's order. I would try to find ways to help people because I feel like it's such a struggle in so many instances. But my goal is always to let people see themselves outside of what they think, like and have them hit the goals that they want to go towards. My biggest thing, I want to be more of an inspirational, motivational speaker, kind of go around talking. That's kind of what I do off to the side anyway now. And that's kind of where I want to show people that their life is more than just what you think it is. It's so much out there they just don't understand. Like I said, engineering helped me kind of understand systems. Healthcare helped me fix the broken systems. Military helped me kind of dissect it and kind of drive it from a standpoint that sports has allowed me to really see the performance side of things. So being able to see everything as in one, I take that individual and say, hey, let's break you down. How can we let you see yourself as a value in the best value that you have? And for me, it has to be spread out, just not in Texas, DC, Kansas, wherever I'm at. It has to be a worldwide thing where we're actually communicating with different countries to say, hey, this technology needs to be driven from that gamification hospital because that's where it's going. Like we're not sending people to the hospital, it's too reactive. We have to let people see the proactive side of it in every avenue, every business, everything has to be soft from that side of it. Just like a roof, hey, put this solar flare on here or solar panel, whatever, to kind of protect. We got to protect ourselves because it's not just about now; it's about forever. I don't want to just we do basketball games. I don't want to just have you playing good for this game. It has to be for the max games. That's what LeBron James, Tom Brady, they spend time, they spend money in their body, spend time just kind of understanding the longevity of not just the game, but themselves. And that's what I want to drive a little bit hard with everyone.
That's awesome. Yeah, and everything you do, there's a ripple effect to it. So
Right.
is it going to be a positive or a negative ripple effect? That's awesome. So with everything said, can you tell us about maybe one or two lessons or things that didn't go as planned or with everything you've accomplished, right? Was there a time where, something happened in a specific way where you learned a lesson and said, okay, that's not going to happen again? Like tell us about that side of the business and that side of entrepreneurship
Yeah.
and growing.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to that side of it, the biggest thing I think I say from a lesson side of it is to quit listening to people who haven't done what I'm trying to go to. Quit taking advice from people who haven't even thought about um, going the route I am, and because that would stop you. The thing I do now, if God gives me 90% of that in a dream or whatever I think, I go after. I don't care what it is. I'm I'm okay with failing if it fails me forward because I get to learn the lesson. I'm okay with trying because I have kids that look at me and say, I can't tell them to try harder if I didn't try. So it allowed me now to go fearless and understand like, hey, that's just a stepping stone to the next level because that taught me a lesson that now I can teach that lesson to somebody else. You can't have a testimony without a test. So that's always my thing. I have to go through the test to show that testimony. So now as I'm doing these inspirational talks and motivational, they see somebody like me. Not only is he's been through it, and I've been through a lot and I've done a lot. And they see that. And that's what my story has become. It has been somebody who has literally, it's okay to try again. It's okay to do something else. It's okay to go to another field. But that guy never quit. And that's what I want to show people. You don't have to quit. You don't have to give up. You're never too late in life to try something different that may elevate you to another level. I lost a lot during this time, man. I got divorced. I fell on my face plenty of times. I can't. If I told you about everything I had to go through, people wouldn't believe it. I had to show them pictures so they can see it. I've been through so much that through it all, I smile. And I would tell anybody the best thing you can do, even within that, is still be a help, still be a giver, because you'll always get more by no matter what you go through to be able to be a blessing to somebody else, regardless of what you have going on.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And what you said actually reminded me of something I heard Will Smith say a few years ago. I think it was for his 50th birthday. He went skydiving for the first time
Yeah,
because
yeah,
he
that's
was
all.
like
Yeah,
super scared and it was like a big thing. And he was talking about that, how you always have to try something new. You always have to push yourself, challenge yourself and fail forward. And like
yeah,
since hearing that, I've always heard that in the back of my head whenever I'm like nervous about something or scared or should I not? Whatever it is you do, just decide to do it. And then if you fail forward.
yeah. You got to, and you got to walk in your confidence. It's for so long, and it's we talk about it, but I had so much stuff on my resume and just throughout life that I thought it was a fault. I thought it was something bad. I got approached when I get approached somebody. I was sitting back, kind of just a little shy, scared to say everything that I had on there, thinking that it was a bad thing, a negative thing. But once I understood, hey, everything I went through was for a reason, and I can stand in any room now, and I can talk to this person, switch my hat to this person, that I figured out that was the best thing I could have ever done, because now my power doesn't come from me having to overtalk anybody. My power literally comes from the obstacles I went through that now somebody else may have it. That hey, it may not be them. I know somebody now that can use your help, and that has got me way further than anything I could ever imagine because now the things I went through has now been a help to not only the people I'm talking to, but they're referring me out to all type of things, which now with my creative mind allows me to create other stuff and to help other people. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. And yeah, to that point, also, I remember I was looking at your LinkedIn and I saw a bunch of marketing and AI things
yeah.
from your profile. What are you doing now when it comes to using AI in your business or in your
Mhm.
brand? Kind of what are you using that's really helping move things forward? Because, what we've all seen over the past few years is with ChatGPT and all these
Yeah.
different AI tools coming out every second,
Mhm.
you can't keep up and it's just a lot of noise. So
Correct.
for you, for your business, for your company, when it comes to, dollars and cents, how are you using it and what are you seeing that's working for you to kind of get you to that goal?
Yeah, so I tell everybody when you use ChatGPT, you gotta look at it like just a smarter friend. You still have to go to it with your knowledge base. If you go to it just having it try to figure everything out for you, it's going to fail you every time because now you're talking through somebody else. But understanding what you need, what you want, hit the wall first, and then use ChatGPT to kind of say get you over the wall and go back. But a lot of people are using it just for a standpoint, just to create everything for them. They didn't have the drive prior to it. So if you don't have the dedication, the persistence, if you haven't tried to fail forward, um, it's going to still be a failure for it. It's just going to be a smarter failure now. And you're like, well, it didn't help me out. So with me, when it comes to my business and everything else, I use it as an avenue just to kind of get me over the hump. If I might be up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll say, man, I was dreaming about something, this and that. I get on chat and I'll say, hey, I'm having this thing, this, and that, and it just gives me a little bit of push. But I've already thought about it. It gave me what I was already thinking, but in a better way to let it implement it for the next day or the next week or whatever. So I think that's kind of where it has to be. And when it comes to AI, you don't have to be the best. I think it simplifies the field and evens the field from even from a music standpoint to direct. I use Suno for music. I use Sora for this, and I use all Agent, whatever it is, because right now it makes you get a little bit more creative. You don't have to have $1 million budget or $50 million budget to create something, and you never know who may see it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So finishing up here, I mean, is there anything that we did not touch on that you would like to? Something that we maybe missed about you, your business, just the word that you want to get out that we weren't able to cover?
Yeah, so first and foremost, Elevated Chiropractic. We're in Denton, Texas. We're in Denton. We're at Universal North Texas. We're at the Roy Jones Jr. facility now, and I'm looking to franchise it. So right now we're kind of franchising in some different areas. We're trying to look at individuals that want to kind of take that on. But when it comes to me, it's about culture. If you're looking to franchise with me or work with me, it's about you as individuals, about culture, it's about what have you been through. Are you willing to take the long haul of maybe a little bit of pain here and there just to get yourself to that success level? Success doesn't come easy. It takes a little bit of selfishness and sacrifice, and you have to be able to be willing to go do it for, like I said, for the long term of it. So when it comes to me, just kind of look out for me. I have a lot of things going on. I'm going to start putting a little bit more stuff out that way. I got a lot of people that are part of the team that we're going to start kind of implementing, showing out to the public now that I haven't been doing in years. So that's the next thing. Where there's going to be a lot more international stuff that you're going to start seeing. So that's with me. Just kind of stay tuned. If you watch me, it's definitely going to be a good little ride coming forward.
Awesome. Yeah. So most importantly, where can people find you? And for people who are or might be thinking about opening up their own shop or maybe even franchising with you, what do you look for in a person like that, right? What traits do you look for in a person that you want to partner with or work with? And then obviously, where can everyone find you?
So first, you find me on Instagram or pretty much any social media at Dr.J_nice. You find me there. You find Elevated Chiropractic pretty much anywhere or Elevated Chiro. Take the E off, so we spell it Lebated Chiro. Find us there. You can find all my other links from that side of it too. And as far as an individual, I'm looking for individuals that are very goal oriented, but not even just goal oriented. Somebody who's a self starter, doesn't need a lot of people around them to get going. Somebody who will call a job or call a company even if there's no job available for it to try to get a job created. I like that. I like somebody who's just I'm gonna go after and try to figure it out whatever they can. Somebody who doesn't mind getting their hands dirty, maybe just jumping in to learn stuff for free till they get to a certain level. I've done it all. No matter how much money or how much success I have, I will still get in there and get my hands dirty. It doesn't bother me because that's I'm trying to get to a certain level of understanding, but that's what keeps you um, in a growing standpoint.
Awesome. Yeah, you just want to be around people who are looking to grow so everyone
Right.
can grow together, right?
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate having you on here, Dr. Jones. And if there's anything you want to leave the audience with, now's the time to do it. Otherwise, thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
Awesome. And I would say the long-term vision is to build a system where healthcare, performance, and technology all integrate, where people just don't live longer, they perform better at every single stage of their life.
Perfect. Your body is your temple, right?
Exactly.
There you go. All right,
Yes.
everyone. We're out.